What's up, man? So, I put all the training videos into one video this week. So, this was the first day, which was just kind of the upper body pump day. Um, it's not too bad. The throwers drill you gave me was super tough. Um, it was a lot harder than I expected it to be. But it was nice to do something different and get some blood moving in the upper body. I just figured on these, you kind of wanted just all kinds of different tempos. So, that's what I did. So I assume for the thrower's drill, this is kind of what you were thinking, with the hand turned upside down. I didn't realize it was. I had to watch the video. You gave me pretty close to actually see that part of it, but I think this is correct. And then the pressing warm-up drill. So I assume this is also correct too. So it was like 30 seconds, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and then kind of ending with some flies. Uh, I stayed pretty light on them, so like 20 pounds, I think. Was still pretty sore, just in general from the contest, just tired. But yeah, as far as the week goes itself, I think everything went pretty well. It went about as well as I would have expected it to. The deadlifts felt a little bit weak, and I decided to pull with the straps down on the suit, just to kind of give my body a little bit of break. I just wasn't super keen to throw the straps up first day back, so hopefully that was okay. But so I've been trying to do some cardio and conditioning pretty much every time I train, and then even a little bit of low intensity stuff on my off days. But on the this first day back, I decided to go outside and push a sled and do a back drag, just because I haven't done something like that in ages. Um, Man, I felt super weak doing these. I just haven't had a leg pump like that. My plan was to do like a 10-minute EMOM, um, and I think I made it through 4 rounds, and that was about all I could manage. But yeah, here's the deadlift day. So this is the first working set at like 420. Um, it's just a super hard spot, for my back at least. 13 inches is pretty weak for me. Um, so I had a little bit of pain on these, but it wasn't anything that I felt like I really had to be super concerned about. Um, it did start to feel a little better as the sets went on and I could kind of adjust my position. It's just getting used to um, just finding where my hips need to be. Pulling from the pads is harder than I thought it would be, if I'm honest. It's just a little weird because I can't really roll the bar where I want it to. And then this was the demo deads. I put the chair behind me because it's just nice to have something to press my calves into and try to force myself to stay vertical. Um, so I liked these a lot. These actually felt really good. And I think that set was probably, I think I was a little too high, at least with the bar. So I think on this set and the next set, I was able to drop them down a little, yeah, a little bit lower. And then I decided to do some sumo pulls. So I'm pretty stiff in the hips, so pulling from the floor sumo for me is hard. So I just raised it up a couple of inches, and then I just super light. It was like 225, 3 sets of 5, and then just did a little 3 second eccentric on the way down. These made my hips feel really good, so I kind of enjoyed that. It was nice. It was just something different. I just feel generally really stiff after kind of a static kind of prep. So I'm just trying to kind of move my body differently than I have in the last 8 or so weeks. What's kind of interesting over the sets, I found that if I actually grab the bar hook grip, even with the straps on, somehow that just kind of like set me in a much better position than if I kind of fingertipped it. So at least to me, this set looks significantly better than the first two. And then I decided to do some farmer's carries because I haven't done that in I don't know how long. Um, as you can see, I look pretty stiff, and I feel very, very slow on those. But they got better as I did a few sets. Just 135 on those, a hand. And then here's the axle day. Um, so we're actually allowed to belt clean in nationals. So I wanted to try that out and kind of see how that feels because I've never actually been able to do belt cleans before. All the contests I've done have not allowed it. I will say it was a little goofy on the first rep here, and this is just about 225, I think. Yeah, I just don't have the confidence to go from the belt to the shoulders real quickly. But yeah, I can't say I hated it. So as the sets went on, they started to feel quite a bit better. So that press was much better. I think this might have been one of the best ones. Yeah, so that's looking about how it should. then there's, hopefully that's the kind of push press you were looking for, just uh, something with a really slight dip. So, oh, I actually lied. So I believe the previous weight was like 205, and then this I think was 225. So definitely still feeling a little weak, but can't complain though. And then here's the rhomboid raises that you wanted. I think this is what you're looking for. I've done a lot of IYTs, like dumbbell IYTs, in the past, and yeah, those have definitely helped my log press for sure. I just haven't done them in quite some time. And you were pretty much right on the money. The I don't really feel it super crazy as I'm doing it, at least in the scaps. I feel it in all the heads of the delt quite a bit. But yeah, the day after, my upper back was pretty trashed. I thought it was a little bit funny because you programmed me a lot of time sets this week, like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off type of stuff. I do a lot of that stuff for my clients. I have them do that all the time. I thought it was funny because you threw it in and I haven't done those in forever, and it was debilitating. Um, Almost kind of forgot how brutal those are. And then the front hold. So I've never actually done a front hold in contest, or really trained it. So the setup we have to use is pretty goofy, at nationals. So I figured like a 25-pound bumper and a 10-pound bumper is probably going to feel pretty close to what we're going to be using. Um, but yeah, especially after the Y raises, these were super tough. These were super tough. But that felt about right. I think I just made it through five rounds on these. I didn't make the attempt to do the full 8 rounds. Unfortunately, because I have very small hands, the trying to figure out how to get the grip set correctly, especially with the implement we'll be using. That's probably going to be pretty hard. But I'm kind of thinking that I'm probably going to have my thumbs how they are in this, because I think the implement is bigger than what I'm using actually. And then jump back on the dip train. So I think I'm on 8 sets of 8 this week, and it's my first week of that. So it was 70 pounds added. And then we're on to squats. So the squats, actually, I think my body's starting to come back by this point. Started feeling pretty good. So even though I haven't really been heavy on squats in some time, I was still able to work up to 385 for the 3 sets of 3. Probably could have done 400 pounds, but I felt like this was enough for the day. But yeah, definitely pleased at how these just felt in general. So seeing as how tight I kind of felt the entire week, seemed like I loosened up pretty decently by the time to hit legs. I would like to keep some kind of back squatting in. I've just been kind of enjoying it lately, and it just feels kind of good. Just feels kind of good. And the front squats. Front squats have actually, the last couple times I've done them, have not felt that great, if I'm totally honest. I don't know if maybe that's kind of just a little loss of mobility, maybe in the T-spine, um, but they're just a little tough on my back. So that's been interesting. But those felt decent, probably just because they're light more than anything. So that this is the setup we figured out. It was actually a smaller bag hooked to a bigger bag and back dragging. We found a video from Nationals themselves, USS themselves, on what the event will be, and it seems like that is the closest thing I can get to how it will actually be, because it is actually one consistent bag, or one bag itself. This is just an example of some of the conditioning I've been doing for like 10 minutes as a warm-up. Um, so my press day was burpee pull-ups, sets of 5. It's like an EMOM sort of thing. And then just kind of playing with a sandbag, just because I haven't in a long time. So just doing like 60 feet total, kind of as an EMOM. But yeah, that was the training week.